We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race. We hold it tight in every space, making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last. Making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last.
Hi, and welcome to the Making It Last podcast, where we explore relationships and help you to build on that journey, whether it is through friendship, whether it is through work, whatever relationships you're trying to build. This is where you'll get all the tips and tidbits. I'm Kerry-Ann Thomas Black, and we flipped the script, I think. So joining me is your host, Noreen Daly.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And my viewers and my listeners, you might be wondering why we're doing this, but my friend, who is a seasoned broadcaster, I decided to say, hey, let her introduce the show. And who knows, maybe I might just have her do it on a regular basis, but we're gonna have a conversation today. I'm Noreen Daly, and we're gonna have a conversation today on how to do friendship right. What comes to mind when you hear that, Kerry?
For me, I am brought back to the scripture that says, "A friend loves at all times." And it makes me think of a ministry. So some of us think about church when we hear ministry, but we as individuals have ministries that we have to pour into. And I believe that friendships, the friendships that we cultivate, the friendships that we, you know, garden, water, that's a ministry. That's God's assignment to us. Why are you looking at me like this?
Yeah. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna build on that because I'm not going to even try to. No, but it's true. But the fact that you said ministry and the friendships that you water and nurture, do you think, though, that it literally shouldn't take a lot of work? Yes.
I'm of the school that, anything worth having
Okay.
takes work.
Okay.
It's going
Okay.
to take something because we have to pour into each other, and it means that we have to be building up each other. We have to be working at something to get it right. It's not something that we just get up and do. It's
Okay.
something that we choose to do every day. And it brings me to the point of consistency. So we
Okay.
think about
Okay.
friendships and I think about how consistent they are. I'm not saying that you have to call me every day. You have to
Okay.
message me every day because we have those friendships where we don't talk for years and we pick up the phone and it's like there was never a gap.
True.
We all have those friendships, but I think there's something that, you know, build that consistent momentum. It helps a lot.
What do you think then is the role of expectations? And let me tell you why
Mm.
I'm dropping that in the equation. Because as you said, there are some friendships that these are everyday friendships every week. You talk to them on a regular basis. There are others for years, and then you reconnect and everything is good. But is it then that you then have to be aware of the expectations you have for each category then of those type of friendships?
Ooh, I think that's food for thought because
Hmm.
sometimes our expectations really don't live up to the reality of things.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
again, that's knowing who your friends are. So you will know based on the relationship that you have what that friend is able to bring. So over time, you will learn that, hey, Noreen is not a person who's going to take up her phone and call me every day because she's not a phone person. But she will
Hmm.
meet up
Hmm.
with me in 2 weeks or she'll meet up with me in a month and we will go out somewhere and we will have a wonderful relationship. But if I'm looking for Noreen to call me and Noreen to text me, that's not who she is. She's a face-to-face person. So again,
Hmm.
understanding who our friends are helps to guide that expectation. So sometimes we have expectations and they're not met. But again, I think sometimes communication is key. So even saying to your friend, oh, this is what I would have liked. Your friend may be able to say, oh, I'm not that kind of a person. My personality, my characteristic is not like this. And so
Hmm.
kind of manage those expectations.
Do you think then, because you said communication is key, but sometimes even in ensuring that the communication is clear and open, sometimes some difficult conversations need to be had. And
Mhm.
sometimes people within friendships, regardless of the type of friendship, sometimes shy away from those difficult conversations. What's your take on that?
That is a ticklish situation because, again, friendships that are built on strong foundations have to be honest. We have to walk that rough road.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we hate doing the hard things in life, we have to do it. And if someone is your friend, no matter what, you're going to be honest. It's like my husband would normally say to me, I prefer to hear it from someone who knows me than to go on the road and hear someone
Mm,
else tell me.
mm, mm,
But we have to have
mm,
those conversations that are hard, even when it's uncomfortable. I have friends who, I'll tell you this. I have a friend who, every time I call her to tell her something, she's like, Kerry, did you pray about it? And in the moment, I don't want to hear about no praying. I don't want to hear, but that's just who she is. And I will say,
mm, mm,
I'm gonna put you on pause. So I have other thing where I put her on pause. Like I will say, I'm gonna call you back. And then when I get out of the feeling of, how I'm feeling in the moment, I call her back because I know that wherever she's guiding me, it's a good place. We may not want to hear it in the moment, but
mm,
again, the
mm,
hard conversations are important. The consistency is important. The honesty is important. Because how would you feel if someone who you thought was close to you knew something and they didn't tell you and you heard from someone else who is a stranger? You would feel hurt. You would probably not even talk to that
mm,
person anymore. So again, I think consistency, having those hard conversations, they're important. And also just being present, whatever your presence may look like.
mm, mm, mm. We're talking about several things, and with all of this, just trying to say how to do friendship right. But what then? Let's flip it a little bit. What then gives the impression that this is a friendship that you need, that is wrong, and you need to go?
I think we all know.
Mm,
We
mm,
all
mm,
know. We get,
mm, mm,
Jamaicans talk about
mm,
that gut feeling. You get that feeling, that this isn't serving you in this season. And that's fine. Some friendships only last for a season. Some friendships are only there to take you through this storm. Um, Maybe their assignment was just to be there in this moment and they're not like lifetime friends. I read somewhere that it says that friends are there for a reason, a season, or a
and a
lifetime.
lifetime. Mm-hmm.
And I think that is so true because when it comes to friendships, you are growing, I am growing, we're all growing. And in that growth, it means that the person who you probably met 5 years ago is not the person I am today. And maybe that person in this moment is not who you need to have as a friend. I think trusting
Mm,
our gut,
mm,
trusting our instincts, trusting the values that we have, and realizing that this isn't serving me right now. We have to learn to say, let go. And I'm a strong believer if I feel like I'm pouring more into you, because it's a balance. I'm not saying that today we're going to be both pouring 50-50, but there are times when
mm-hmm,
you'll pour
mm-hmm,
80 and I'll
mm-hmm.
pour 20. But if it is that I can't flip and pour 80 when you need the 80, then I'm saying it's a good time to say goodbye.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race.
The Making It Last podcast. More on the other side of this break and a word from our partners.
Does your business lack branding? Having difficulty realizing your vision? Look no further. Splinth Brand Design Consultancy specializes in developing personal and business brands. Services include strategic management, website creation, social media branding, and more. Visit them online at www.wearesplint.com. Splinth, the brand you need to succeed.
In a world full of noise, N-Sound Media delivers voices that matter. From podcasts that challenge and inspire, to streaming TV that uplifts and informs, to music and stories you won't hear anywhere else. This is media built for community, culture, and truth. Independent, bold, unfiltered. Streaming worldwide and growing every day. Download, listen, watch. Join the movement that puts real voices front and center. N-Sound Media. Streaming innovation amplified.
Hi everyone, Delmas Brown here, National Debating Champion 2017, also graduate of Northern Caribbean University, Governor General Awardee for Excellence 2018, and also international researcher, international debater, among other things. Now, the reason behind this video is to introduce you to the world's best communications coach who has made all of these kinds of accomplishments possible. Now, for 4 years, I had the opportunity, or privilege rather, to be coached by Noreen Daly, a communications speech specialist who has done a very phenomenal job at ensuring that I no longer use unnecessary filler vocabulary, and who has also taught me the essence of communicating.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race.
I love that you actually use percentages just now. But if somebody who will listen and watch it, they're saying, but it's like you're putting a measuring stick in terms of what is done, how it is done, when it is done. What would be your response to that?
I think when I think about it, time is the greatest response. Again, I go back to, you know who the person is. Over time, you would have learned their habits. Over time, you'd have learned who they are. You will see in different scenarios and different circumstances who comes to light. It's just like my mom used to say that whenever you're angry, whatever is on your heart will always come out. So you will see who that person is, and you will know if this is at 80, if it's at 20, if it's at 50, if it's always just you. I remember seeing something the other day that says, stop calling, stop texting, and see how many dead plants you have been watering. And it sat with me. I sat with it because I said to myself, we spend so much time calling somebody, texting somebody, but if we were to look at it, how many times does that person show up for you in those hard seasons? Because it's not about the good times. It's not always about the good times. Friendship is about that balance, being there in the in-between, being there in the quiet moments, in those seasons when nothing really are going for you. So again, we are able to measure because we know who we are, and we know what it is that we should be getting in return. I think it's like a transaction. You go to the bank, you go to the ATM, you're supposed to get money out. If you're not getting that money, something is wrong. You're depositing money into it, and if it's not growing, as they would say, something is wrong. So you are pouring into this friendship, and you're not getting anything on the return on investment. And something is wrong, because again, our time is valuable. We have so many hours in a day. God has given us that hour or those hours, and how we use them is important. And so if you're depositing and you're not getting out of it what you think you should be getting, or what you should be getting, or what you're worth getting, then this is a time, I think, to really say, mm-mm. And I'm sure as we age too, I think it's all about quality over quantity. So if in your lifetime you only have 2 friends now, that is okay. Maybe in the season before, 10 years ago, you wanted to have a whole lot of friends. But you realize that if two persons are those two persons you can call on, like you can say, oh, I'm doing this, and you know those two persons are going to show up. You are rich in life because you know those two persons are in your corner. They're always going to support you. They're always going to say to you, mm-mm, Noreen, this is wrong. Kerry, this is wrong. I don't support you. That is something that you should cherish, I believe.
Hmm,
That
hmm, hmm.
is where you should be pouring your ministry into, or who you should be pouring your ministry into.
I'm listening and I'm thinking, how many persons actually, sometimes when we see the signs, actually pay attention to those signs and act accordingly? Or do we sometimes, you have this perception of this person, and that is all you see, regardless of the fact that sometimes their actions are just showing you the complete opposite?
Hmm.
What then?
You know what? Some friendships are just not made to last forever. And I think we have to learn that I in the past have done this. Like I used to be holding on to friendships, like holding on to friendships where I'm the only one who is giving. I don't hear from them. Only when they need me to show up, I will hear from them. But I have also learned that I am important, I am valuable, and I have to look at what I need in this season.
Mm-hmm.
What is going to be helping me to grow or get to the next level? Or we think about purpose, we
Mm,
think about our calling, but we have to understand that our friendships play a role in that. Our friendships help to guide that purpose. If you have a friend that's not helping you along the way, you know that your purpose and your calling is to maybe, as you are doing your podcast, making it last. That is your calling, that is your ministry. But if you have a friend who is not supportive of that, is that something or is that someone you should be really pouring into? So we have to also realize that we too are valuable and our values matter. And if in this season this person isn't really serving, if the, even as much as it hurts, we have to let go. And that's why I think about seasons. So we know that when autumn comes, the trees fall, and God has planned that. He has ordained it for a reason. He's showing us that we can let go of things so that
mm-hmm.
better things can come. Maybe you're holding on to that
I love it.
friendship, and there is someone else in this season who needs you more than that friendship that you are holding on to by the hem of a garment. But because you're holding on, God can't do for you what He needs to do with that person that's out
Mm,
there. So I guess
mm.
sometimes we have to let go, we have to shed, we have to shift so that we can, gain new friendships and continue on the journey of life.
As we're wrapping up the conversation, in thinking of how to do friendship right, what instrument would come to mind and what animal would come to mind and why?
Hmm. Um, I think violin for me. And I say that because when you think of the violin, there is sweet melodies to be heard from it. Um, I think the strings tell a story and they all work together to make the music happen. And someone has to play it, someone has to pour into that instrument, someone has to use the
Mm.
bow and make the music that's there. So it reminds me of this quote that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And so I'd say the violin. And then you said animal.
An animal.
I would say um, the dolphin, maybe. So sweet
Hmm.
and friendly, but knowing when to own your own space so that you can rejuvenate, recuperate, whatever it is, again, to go back into that friendly setting to pour into others.
Excellent note to end on, but You began the show, so you will end the show.
And that's it for Making It Last or Making It Last podcast. I hope that you will be blessed and that your friendships will improve. Well, that your friendships will improve. I'm Karen Thomas Black, and it was great being here. Thank you again, Noreen, for having me.
It was my absolute pleasure.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race. We hold it tight in every space, making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last. Making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last.